Greetings, Namaskar to everybody. Let us start our class with a Shanti Mantra from the Skanda Purana. There are 18 major Puranas. Of them, Skanda Purana is one. These prayers are on page 108 of the book, The Universal Prayers. There are 4 stanzas. We will chant all the 4 stanzas on page 108, and the English translations are on page 109. Om Tvam Bharta Sarvabhutatma Tvam Trata Tvam Sukhavah Tvam Karta Tvam Vidhata Cha Nityo Nityari Mardana Kritagno Varadas Satyah Saranyas Sadhu Vatsalah Aparaparo Durgneyah Sarvabhutahite Ratah Agrahya Karanam Karta Parameshthi Parampadam Achintyas Sarvabhutatma Sarvatmatvam Sanatanaha Namastubhyam Namo Mahyam Tubhyam Mahyam Namo Namaha Aham Tvam Tamaham Sarvam Jagate Tacharacharam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Supreme Lord, You are the supporter, the self of all beings, the Savior and the source of bliss. You are the Master, the Creator, the eternal being, the eternal conqueror of enemies. Thou takest note of the service of thy devotees, and thou also bestowest boons on them. Thou art the truth eternal, the refuge, the ever kind to the good. Thou art the deliverer from the limitless ocean of existence, the unknowable, the one devoted to the welfare of all beings. Thou art the incomprehensible, the first cause, the creator, the supreme deity and the supreme abode. Thou art the one beyond thought, the self of all, the self of the world, the eternal being. O Lord, salutations to Thee, salutations to me, salutations to both Thee and me. For I am verily Thyself, and Thou art verily myself. Nay, Thou art the whole world, the moving and the non-moving. Please bestow Your grace upon us all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may there be peace and joy in our hearts. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Let us continue our study of chapter 5 on the Bhagavad Gita. Last time we did verse number 6. Verse number 6, just to review a little bit briefly. Sannyasasta mahabaho dukkhamaptamayo gataha yoga yukta mandir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Renunciation is hard to obtain without practicing karma yoga, without performing all our duties as karma yoga, as offering, without attachment to work and its results, without purifying the mind, making the mind free from selfishness and attachment. Without doing these things, it is not possible to renounce anything. Swami Vivekananda once said, it seems somebody went to him and asked Swamiji, I want to renounce everything and become a sannyasi. Swamiji asked him, what do you have that you can renounce? That man didn't have a job, didn't have anything, no special abilities or anything. What was there for him to renounce? So Swamiji told him, first develop your personality. Have something that you can renounce. What can a beggar renounce? That was Swamiji's question. So like that, unless we have done something, purified our minds, made our minds free from attachment, selfishness and other impurities, how can we practice renunciation? What is there to renounce? That is what Sri Krishna is saying here. Yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Yoga yukta munihi. A sage, muni means a sage, yoga yukta who has performed yoga and has purified his mind and has become free from selfishness, attachment and other impurities. Such a person, yoga yukta muni, nachirena, very quickly, without delay, brahma adhigacchati, reaches Brahman. So the way to become free from the bondage of karma, karma phala, is to perform karma in a selfless way, without attachment. It is somewhat like tax. How to become free from the tax obligation? By paying the tax. You pay the tax and you become free from the obligation to pay tax. So karma is like that. Performing karma as a karma yoga discipline, whenever we do something, we have to do with great love, lovingly, joyfully, with gratitude, and do it as a spiritual practice, as an offering, without any selfishness, without I and mine. That way, working that way makes the mind pure and ready for self-knowledge. So that is the sloka number 6. Now we go to sloka number 7. Same idea, continued. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kuruvannapi na lipyate. Yoga yukta vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha. A serious spiritual seeker must have 5 virtues. Those 5 are mentioned here. Yoga yukta 1, vishuddhatma, vijitatma, jitendriyaha, sarvabhutatma bhutatma. 5 things have to be achieved before we can become free from karma, the bondage of karma and karma phala. So let us see what these 5 things that we have to do to achieve self-knowledge. First one is yoga yukta. We should practice yoga consistently for a long time until the mind becomes pure. It can be any yoga. It can be Jnana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, or Patanjali's Raja yoga. Whatever kind of yoga we choose to practice, we should practice them diligently for quite some time until the mind becomes mature, free from selfishness, and attachment and other impurities. Such a person is a yoga yukta, established in yoga. One quality. Second quality is Vishuddhatma. Here Atma means mind. The word Atma means different things depending on the context. Here Vishuddhatma means with a pure mind. How is the purity of mind achieved? By doing yoga yukta, practicing yoga. Any yoga, consistently if you practice, mind becomes pure. Mind becomes full of devotion, free from attachment, selfishness, anger, jealousy, fear. All these things will go away. Vishuddhatma, a person with pure mind. Third quality is Vijitatma. Vijitatma means, your Atma means body. See, same word Atma has different meanings. Vishuddhatma means purity of mind, person with pure mind. Vijitatma means one who has conquered the body. The body has so many demands and weaknesses. A person must develop the body and make it fit for a serious spiritual practice. Vijitatma. Vijitatma means Vijita Deha. Shankaracharya says, Deha means body. Fourth quality is Jitendriya. Indriya means sense organs. 5 sense organs of perception, Jnanendriyas. 5 sense organs of action, Karmendriyas. Jitendriya means a person who has conquered the 10 Indriyas. The Indriyas, the sense organs, as we have seen before, they have their natural tendency to seek contact with sense objects. The whole world is full of sense objects. Eye wants to see something pleasant. Whether it is good or bad is not the consideration. Something that is pleasant. Ear wants to hear something pleasant without regard to whether it is beneficial or not. Tongue wants to taste something or say something which is whether it is necessary or not, relevant or not. Like this, sense organs have always their tendency to go out and do things, seeking pleasure from sense objects. That tendency has to be controlled. Controlling the sense organs, making them do the right thing at the right time, refraining from doing the wrong thing. Just like controlling the horses tied to a chariot. The charioteer is the buddhi. In the Kathopanishad we studied earlier, the body, mind, sense organs are all compared to a chariot. And the traveler is the Jivatma, the individual soul, traveling in the chariot. The destination is God or Brahman. If the journey to Brahman has to be completed successfully, the soul has to reach the merge with the Paramatman, Supreme Lord, Brahman, then the chariot has to be in good condition, the horses have to be well trained, the buddhi, intellect has to be able to control the horses and direct them in the proper direction towards the destination. All these conditions have to be met. So Jitendriya means a seeker who has controlled the sense organs. Without controlling sense organs, no spiritual practice is possible. Fifth quality is Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. That means Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma, Shankara's commentary. I'll read it, is simple, you can follow. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Sarvesham Brahmadinam Stamba Paryantanam Bhutanam Atma Bhutaha. Considering all the beings as oneself. I am not separate from other people and there is only one being and I am that. That includes all. The opposite of a way of thinking is I am separate. I am this person. This is not mine. He is separate. Ayam mama paro veti itna gadanatu alpachetasam. This is Subhashita. Probably it was written by Bhavabhuti. I am not 100% sure. The shloka says, Ayam mama parova iti gananatu alpachetasam. Alpachetasa means people with narrow-minded people. Alpachetasam gadana, they calculate. How do they calculate? Ayam mama parovaiti. This is mine, that is not mine. He is separate and I am separate. This is all mine, that's not mine. Separation. Feeling of separation. That is limitation. That is ignorance. However, what is the opposite way of this narrow-mindedness? Large-hearted, all-inclusive. Udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Udara charita means a person with a large heart, all-inclusive. Nobody is a stranger. Holy Mother said, nobody is a stranger, my child. Everybody is your own. No one is a stranger. Everybody is my own. Everybody is a child of God. That all-inclusive thinking is very important for spiritual seekers. Sarva bhutatma bhutatma. That our thinking must include everything. He says, Brahmadinam stamba paryantanam. Beginning from Brahma, the creator, the highest being. Stamba means a blade of grass. Nothing is excluded, nobody is excluded. Right from Brahma to the blade of grass. All other people, animals and plants and nature, everything is included. It's all one. We are not separate, we are all one being. That kind of large-heartedness is very necessary for spiritual seekers. We have to expand the I. I means, for a narrow-minded person, I means just this body, I am myself. I will take care of myself, I will eat, I will be happy, I will do things for myself. That is extremely narrow-minded thinking. Such people will not be able to make any spiritual progress. We should enlarge our I. I means including everybody. I give an example. A New Year person, he would come home from work in the evening and just remove his tie and jacket and put it somewhere, his briefcase somewhere, go straight to the kitchen and open the fridge and get some food from the fridge, put it in the microwave, or turn on the television or start eating, watching television. That is one model. The opposite of that is, if a person comes from home, first thing is he should keep the things in the proper place, briefcase in its place, jacket in his closet and tie in the closet everywhere. Wash hands and feet and ask other people in the family, wife and parents and children, how was your day? Have you eaten? Ask other people. And then sit down together for a meal as a family. It's a great thing. I'm not separate. I cannot eat unless other people are fed. I just eat and fulfill my hunger, and other people will eat or not my concern. That should not be for a spiritual seeker. Sarva bhutatma bhutatma means all these things. All inclusive thinking, considering everybody's well-being, not just my own. This quality, large-heartedness, is very important for spiritual seekers. So these 5 qualities, a person who has these 5 qualities, what are the 5 qualities? Review. Yoga yuktaha, when you practice yoga consistently for some time. Vishuddhatma, one who has achieved purity of mind. Purity of mind means mind free from selfishness, anger, jealousy, lust, greed. All these things should be given up. Purity of mind. Third quality is Vijitatma, controlling the body. Fourth quality is Jitendriya, controlling the sense organs. Fifth quality is Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, considering everybody as oneself, including everybody. If a person has done these 5 things, then what happens? What is the result? That is explained in the last part of the second line of this sloka number 7. Kurvannapi nalipyate. Karma kurvannapi. Even if a person may be doing all activities, required activities, service to other people, still work will not bind such a person. Nalipyate. Karmana nalipyate. Will not be bound by karma. Work is happening, work is being done, but that person remains unaffected by the karma phala. Karma phala will come, drishta phala, visible result will come, that is okay. But no new samskaras are formed in the mind. The samskaras will perpetuate our existence in worldly life. That will not happen. Clean. Kurvannapi, karma kurvannapi, though such a person performs all duties and service activity. Karma includes required obligations, obligatory duties, and also service to other beings. This is very important. Swami Vivekananda emphasized the idea of serving other people. Here it says, Loka sangrahaya karma kurvannapi. Loka sangrahaya means for the well-being of the world, other beings, animals and plants and nature. Taking care of plants and animals is included, serving needy people. Supposing there is a plant in the front yard or backyard, it is drying, it requires water. And pouring water to that plant is service. The plant is also life. It is the same consciousness in the plant as is in me. Recognition of that. I am not separate from it. Same consciousness. Body may be different, but at the conscious level you are all one. At the physical level we are all separate. Everybody is separate at the physical level. But if you go deep into our spiritual roots, we all converge and become one. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita and Kathopanishad, Mahabharata, this whole creation is compared to a tree. The tree, depending upon from where you look at it, can be seen as a multiplicity. Many different things are. If you see the tree from the top of the tree, you see many different things. So many different branches and sub-branches and small branches and twigs, leaves, fruits and flowers, birds and bees and squirrels, and everything is there at the top of the tree. You see many different things. But if you go down to the ground level and stand in front of the tree, only one trunk is there. Creation is like that. If you look at the bodies, we are all different, we are all separate. Everybody's body is different. But if you go deep into our personality, go into the spiritual level, we are all one in spirit. Only one consciousness is there. We are that one. That kind of attitude has to be developed by a spiritual seeker. I am not separate, I am not different. Let me do something for others. If a dog or some animal is hungry or thirsty, give him a little bit of water or food. Is a good thing to do. That kind of service. Loka sangrahaya karma kurvan, performing actions for serving other people. Needy people, poor people, sick people, volunteering if possible. In some way, we can all find some way to help other people. Everybody will not be able to do physical help. Depending on our ability, circumstances, whatever we can do, saying a few kind words itself is a good service. Supposing somebody is going through difficult times, calling that person, saying a few kind words, encouraging words, consoling words is a service. That kind of attitude has to be developed. Kurvannapi nalipyate, then performing all these new obligatory activities, niyata karma and service activities. Still that person remains free from the bondage of karma, karma phala. Mind becomes pure and paves the way for self-knowledge. That is the power of karma, doing karma in the proper way. Swami Ranganathananda in his Bhagavad Gita, while commenting on this verse, or maybe the next verse, he quoted a couplet from Bhasa. There was a great dramatist, Sanskrit dramatist, his name was Bhasa. Like Kalidasa, was a great dramatist. Bhasa wrote many dramas in Sanskrit. In one of his works, this couplet comes, and Swami Ranganathananda quoted that couplet, commenting on these verses in the Gita. That couplet is very simple. Prajñasya murkhasya cha karma yogo, prajñasya cha murkhasya karya yogo, samatvam abhyeti tanurna buddhihi. Prajñasya, prajna means a wise person. Murkha means a foolish person. Both of them work. Wise people work, they do require duties, service duties. Murkha, any ordinary person who doesn't have much knowledge, a selfish person, he also works. There is no difference from the karma point of view. Samatvan abhyeti karya yoga. In regard to the work they do the same work. But there is a big difference. Na buddhihi, in regard to the attitude, the world of difference between the two people. I give an example. Supposing in an office, large office, many clerks are working, and two clerks are working side by side. They both do the same work. Work is the same. But their inner attitude could be quite different. For one clerk, it's just a job, 9 to 5, looking at the clock, doing the minimum, as little as possible, and then leaving the office at 5 o'clock or even before if he can manage. That's his attitude. The other clerk who sits next to him does the same job every day, 9 to 5, his attitude is wholly different. He thinks of his work as a service to the country. It may be a small service, but every small service is needed. Everybody has a place. Everybody's work has a place in the total picture. I'm playing my part. Of course, you get salary. Both of them will get the salary. But the attitude is very different from person to person. So, this sloka number 7 describes the attitude of a person who does all the work as offering without selfishness and develops an all-inclusive attitude towards everybody. Everybody is my own. Nobody is a stranger. Let me do my work as a service. That attitude is very important for a spiritual seeker. So now we come to the next two slokas, 8 and 9. These are very important slokas. Okay, very important slokas, 8 and 9. These two slokas in chapter 5, they describe the attitude of a jnani towards work. In the 3rd chapter, we saw the attitude of an ordinary person towards work. An ordinary person thinks I am the doer, I should get the benefit of this work. Where did we see that one? Very important verse. Chapter 3, Shloka number 27. There, the ordinary person thinks I am the doer, I should get the benefit. Ahankara vimodhatma kartahamiti manyate. Ahankara vimodhatma, a person who is egotistic and ill-informed. Vimodhatma is a foolish person. Sri Krishna uses that language, strong language. Ahankara vimodhatma, what does such a person think? Aham karta iti manyate. Thinks that I am the doer. I is the dominant thing in that person's mind. But as opposed to that, the Jnani's attitude is 180 degrees different, diametrically opposite to the attitude of a ill-informed person, selfish person. What does the Jnani think? They both do the work. Ordinary person does work, Jnani does work, same work. But there is a world of difference between their attitudes towards work and result of work. So the Jnani's attitude towards work is described in 8 and 9, very important shlokas. So let me chant shlokas 8 and 9 in chapter 5. नैव किंचित करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् कश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्ते इति धारयन्. Very nice, profound 2 verses, 8 and 9. A Jnani thinks, Naiva kinchit karomi, I am not doing anything at all. But he is not doing anything. Nobody can remain without doing anything. Jnani also works like other people. Yukta means a yogi, one who has practiced yoga, karma yoga or any yoga. Tattvavit, who knows the truth. Tattva means ultimate truth, reality. With means one who knows that truth. Tattvavit, yuktaha, manyeta, he thinks, should think. What does he think? Naiva kinchit karomi. I am not doing anything at all. Free. Working all the time. Not sitting lazy. What kind of does Jnani do? Same kind of work we all do. Some examples are given. 13 examples are given in the next 2 lines. Examples of the type of work Jnani does, Ajnani does. What do we all do? Pashyan. We all see, everybody has eyes, everybody sees something good or bad, we see something. Shranvan, hearing. You also hear sounds. Ignorant person hears sounds, Jnani hears sounds. Pashyan, Shranvan, Sprishan, touching. We all touch objects. Jigran, smelling. Activities common to Jnanis, Ajnanis. Ashnan, eating. Everybody eats. Ashnan, gachan, going someplace. Gachan, swapan, sleeping. Everybody sleeps. Shwasan. Shwasan means breathing. Pralapan, speaking. Visrajan, releasing. Holding something, releasing something. Grinnan, holding something. Unmishan, nimishan napi, opening and closing the eyes. All these are examples of work everybody does. Jnanis, Ajnanis, men, women, children, adults, everybody does all these kind of things every day, all the time. That is common. Work is common to everybody. There is no difference in work. As you saw in Bhasa's a couplet, everybody does the same kind of work. But what's the difference? The difference is very big difference in the attitude towards work and the result of work. So what is the Jnani says? Naiva kinchit karami. While doing all these things, he says, I am not the doer. What is the Ajnani says? Aham karomi. Aham karta. I am the doer. Big difference. Diametrically opposite viewpoints towards work. Then you can ask the question of Jnani. Jnani who says, I am not doing anything while doing all these things, you can challenge him. Sir, you are doing all these things. You are also eating, walking, talking, sleeping, doing everything, going and coming. How can you say you are not doing anything? How can you say, Naiva kinchit karami? You should ask the Jnani that question. If you ask that question, what is the Jnani reply? Last line, second line of Shloka 9. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayan. He explains, Jnani explains, if you ask him, you are doing all these activities that everybody else is doing, how can you say you are not doing anything? This is his explanation. Jnani says, Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante. Sense organs, hand, eyes, nose, ear, etc., hands and feet, indriyani, sense organs. Indriyartha means sense objects. This piece of paper, this cup of water, this book, these are all sense organs. So, the sense objects, the sense organs and sense objects interact. Hand holds the paper, eyes see what is printed in the book, and the mouth drinks the water. Sense organs are interacting with sense objects. Action is happening. Where is the eye? Am I the paper, sense object, or the book, or the cup of water? I am not. They are sense objects outside of me. Am I the hand? Am I the eyes? Am I the ears? What am I? The body is not me. Sense organs are not me. I am the Atman. Atman has no activity, pure consciousness. How can there be any activity for Atman? Nishkriya. Action happens at the body, mind, sense organ, sense object level, none of which I am. So I am not the doer. I am the Atman. I am not the doer. Jnani's position. Only a Jnani can say that one. An Ajnani, we cannot say I am not the doer because we have the distinct notion of being the doer. We identify with the body and the mind and sense organs. So what should we do? If I say I am the doer, then that is not good. Ahankara vimudhatma, I will become a foolish and egotistic person. 327. I cannot say I am not the doer because I am not a Jnani or the body consciousness. I don't have the experience of being the Atman. I am only experiencing my body, mind. So I am stuck. What are people like us supposed to do? There are different ways in which can answer this question. Some of it we already know. We can keep the I intact and we can say I am the doer, but we can modify that by saying I am doing it all right, but I am doing it as an offering. That I is still there, but it becomes less important by doing everything as an offering. Not for myself, but as an offering. We know that from the 3rd chapter, Shloka number 30. There, Sri Krishna says, whatever you do, offer it to me. Shloka number 30, chapter 3, we were told, Maya sarvani karmani sanyasya, dedicate all your actions to me. So we dedicate mentally, chetasa. Then I is still there, but it becomes less dominant. We can't get rid of I so easily. That will come at a later stage. Until then, we can keep the eye and keep it as a servant. In same sloka, chapter 3, verse number 30, Sri Krishna says, Adhyatma Chetasa. The meaning of this phrase, term Adhyatma Chetasa, is explained this way by Shankara in that sloka number 13, chapter 3. Considering oneself as a servant of God, Ishwaraya Bhrityaiva Sarvani Karmani Karomi. Bhritya means a servant. I am a servant of God, I am a dasa, I am a servant. God is my Prabhu, my Lord. All actions I do are my service to my Lord. Like Hanuman serving Sri Rama. Like Latu Maharaj does all the work he does only to serve Sri Ramakrishna. There is no other motive for him to do anything. Like that, we can develop that attitude as a dasa, as a servant. Everything I do as a servant of the Lord. So I is still there, but is given a servant role. Jnani says, I am not there at all, I am not a doer. That's very high. Difficult to reach there right now. These are other ways in which we can keep the eye and still develop some degree of detachment from karma phala, by offering it to God, by doing it as a service. Not expecting anything in return. Third way that we can deal with this question, whether I am the doer or not, is to consider oneself as an instrument in the hands of God. God is the doer, I am only the instrument in his hands. I am only a pen and he is the author. He decides what to write, when to write. He has chosen me as the pen, his instrument. So I try to be the best instrument that I can be in his hands. He is the doer. I am not the doer. I am only the instrument. He makes me do what he wants me to do. If I don't do, then he will put me aside and get a better instrument. If this pen does not work, one day, what happens? This does not work. Then I keep it aside, take another pen which works. So we are like the instruments. If I am not willing to do my work or does not do my work properly, God will keep me aside, but choose a better instrument. There are millions of better instruments than myself. You can choose any of them. He has chosen me. That itself is a great gift, privilege. That God has given this opportunity for me to do this work itself is a great gift. Therefore, when work comes, you have to do it with gratitude, joyfully. Thank you, O Lord, for choosing me as the instrument to do this work, to get this work done through me. That itself is a great gift. With great joy and gratitude, we have to do all our work, not grudgingly, oh, I'm stuck with this work, I will do the minimum and get it out of the way. Not like that one. Not perfunctorily. With joy, with love and with gratitude, we have to do the work. He has chosen us as the instrument. He could have chosen anybody else. There are thousands and thousands of other instruments better than this instrument. But he has chosen this instrument, me as the instrument. That itself is a great gift, blessing. With great gratitude and joy, you have to do this work. Joyfully, nicely, you have to do the work. That is the attitude of a bhakta, devotee. So these are different ways in which we can keep the eye and still become detached from karma phala. This attitude of an instrument comes in the 11th chapter of the Gita, sloka number 33. There Sri Krishna clearly says to Arjuna was thinking, I am the warrior, how can I kill all these Kauravas, Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhana, Karna, all these people, I am going to kill or they are going to kill me. He was saying like that one. Sri Krishna tells him something. Hey Arjuna, you think you are the doer, you are the killer. Forget about it. You have nothing to do. I am the person who does everything. He clearly says that in sloka number 33 in chapter 11. Mayaivete nihataha purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Arjuna, Sri Krishna addresses Arjuna as a Savyasachi. Savyasachi means an ambidextrous person. Arjuna had the rare ability of discharging arrows infallibly with both hands, right hand and left hand. Usually we are all one-handed. Either I am right-handed or some left-handed. We can't be equally dexterous in both hands. But Arjuna had that ability. O Savyasachin, nimitta matram bhava. Just be the instrument. I am the doer. Maya eva, by me alone, ete sarve, Bhishma Dronadaya, all these people, Kauravas, Purvameva niyataha, it's a done deal. I already will ordain that they should be killed. It's going to happen. Whether you fight or not, they are going to be killed. It's done. Don't think that you are the doer. Just be the instrument in my hands. So we can take that attitude. I am an only instrument. The Lord is the doer. Shakalita Maricha, that song has come many times. Oh Divine Mother, you are the doer. People think that we are the doers. So that attitude we can cultivate. In one of these ways, we should overcome the notion that I am the doer, and we should overcome selfishness, attachment to karma, karma phala. The Jnani's way is explained here in sloka numbers 8 and 9. Opposite of this is the Ajnani's way. Ignorant person, egotistic person. Such a person always says, I am the doer. I have done this work. I am the doer. I am the head. I am the manager. I have done all these things. I have done more than anybody else has done. Like that claiming, I am the doer, is a sign of total ignorance. That person does not know what he is talking about. That attitude is not going to help for a spiritual seeker. A spiritual seeker must modify that I. Eventually get rid of the I as a Jnani. Jnani has no I. His I is the Atman. It's a very high position. It's difficult for majority people to reach there right away. We can take small steps. Small steps means I am the doer. Ripe ego, as Sri Ramakrishna says, let the ego be there, but make it the ripe ego. Ripe ego means I am the child of God, I am a child of God, I am a servant of God, I am a devotee of God, God is my Prabhu, my Lord, God is my father, my mother. That attitude is okay, safe for a spiritual seeker. Eventually I has to go, but as long as it stays, give it a position, lower position. That is the way that we can all practice detachment to karma, karma phala, while performing activities. Nobody can stop activities. We all have to do activities. Like these examples given in the slokas 8 and 9, Pashyan, Sranvan, Spusaran, Jagdan, etc. that everybody has to do. While doing those activities, we can still practice detachment by thinking in these ways. Jnani, I am not the doer. And there is a story, it's already almost time. How a Jnani can perform all the work and still claim he is not the doer. Briefly, the story is like this. The great sage Vasishtha, he was standing near the Yamuna river. And a group of ladies, Gopi ladies, they came and they wanted to cross the river. But the river was in full tide and they could not cross. So much water flowed, they could not cross. So the ladies requested Vasishtha, sir, can you please help us to cross the river? Vasishtha said, okay, but before that, what do you have? Can you give me something to eat? So they had a lot of this milk and butter and other dairy products. They all gave it, everything he ate. All of that he ate. What everybody had, lot of it, he ate. And then after eating all of that, he stood before the river and said a prayer to the river. O Mother River, if I have not eaten anything at all, please part and make way for me and other ladies to cross. If I have not eaten anything, please make way for me and the ladies to cross, go to the other side. Immediately the river parted. A path was made, dry patch was made. All of them crossed the river. Then the ladies asked Vasishtha, they were astonished. How can it be true? Sir, you ate all those things that we gave. Milk you drank and the butter and everything, cheese you ate. How can you say that you didn't eat anything? And the river also obeyed that. How is it possible? They were astonished. Then he said exactly what this Jnani says. I didn't eat. My body ate. I am not the body, I am the Atman. Jnanis can do like that one. We cannot do that one unless we are at that higher state. I am not the body. As long as we have body consciousness, we can say I am the doer, but modify that by saying I am the doer, but I am doing it as an offering to God. I am doing it as a worship of God. In the 18th chapter, Shloka 46, Sri Krishna says, do all your work as worship. Sakarmana tamabhyarcha seddhim mindati manavaha. There Sri Krishna says, it's chapter 18, verse 46. By performing all actions as puja, as offering, abhyarchana. Archana means puja. A person achieves perfection. Perfection means purity of mind, which paves the way for self-knowledge. So, doing all our work as offering, as worship, as an instrument in the hands of God, we can purify the mind. Jnani says, I am not a doer, we can't do that one. So, these are the ways in which one can become free from karma and karma phala, bondage of karma, karma phala. So, we will stop here and continue next time by the grace of God. How does the Jnani perform work? We will continue that. So, let me say the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sakhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from diseases, may all realize what is noble and auspicious, may no one be subject to misery. Om peace, may there be peace and joy in our hearts, may there be peace and harmony amongst all beings, and may there be peace everywhere in nature. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all and stay well. Thank you.